Well, I mean, you were with these tools whenever they piss people off too, right? Do they hate you here too? No one's really paying attention to you.
I'm just hanging out here. I don't care about the coral or the missing brother or anything like that.
Uh, all right. Well, I think I'm gonna go to the castle myself.
Me too.
It's a little less running, and I'm not gonna catch up to anyone, honestly. Heck, I don't even think they're gonna catch up to that to Karamikos at all, honestly.
So, do we just want to just stake it out kind of by the lake?
Yeah, we could do that. We could just go ahead and set up camp over there. Better than like paying for a room.
All right.
And at least it's close to the village. So, yeah. So I guess we'll just go ahead and chill over here for a little bit. I think.
All right, so you're moving to kind of observe and watch the castle in what it does. Okay.
Hmm?
So you guys, you two stand inside the inside the village and you watch the castle for how long are you trying to watch the castle?
Like
Like
how?
how long are you willing to stake it out?
Probably a couple days.
Yeah, a good long while.
Okay, so you're going to try to stay here for a couple days. What about Orbital?
Well, I'll wait a couple of hours until Eric comes back. If he doesn't come back, then I'll find a place outside the town to lay off
Okay.
because I can't
So
go back in.
Hoxic and Elka, you're staking out inside the town, and you intend to do that for several days. Orbital is outside the village, and Eric is still running off into the woods. Correct?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Can I see the carriage or?
At the beginning, you lose sight of it, and so it appears that they like you can see the dust from their full gallop for a short while, and it does look like it slows down, but you're still running and you haven't yet caught sight of them.
Okay.
Maybe on some straighter stretches you can see them in the distance, but it looks like they have a good lead on you.
Okay.
But you have a lot of endurance. You're
Are
gonna have to sleep at
they
some time.
right? Does it look like they're still going pretty fast, or you said they slowed down?
It does look like they've slowed down after a few minutes of that breakneck speed.
Okay. I mean, I could slow down too and just kind of keep them in sight. Can I
It's
do
to
that,
keep
or?
them in that occasional sight. You're gonna have to keep up your
Yeah.
long distance running. You're gonna have to be running yourself all day.
Okay. That's what I'll do then.
Okay, all right. You're opening up in these big strides and breathing easy. Maybe you're probably even having to drink as you run to maintain your pace. Uh,
Okay.
so in the city, Elka and Hoxic, you watch for several hours as the guards from the castle and the troops kind of fan out and they start asking questions to some of the villagers that had scattered. Um, you see they kind of ask questions for a while. You see some of the guards even will point to the two of you, and the villagers will kind of like shake their heads and from seeing this enough you see the guards are asking about you as foreigners to this village. They have anything to do with it, and it seems like the villagers are, oh no, no, I didn't see them do anything, and so no one no
Mhm.
one even comes to question you. After a while the guards start getting pulled back, and it seems to be normal rotations up at the castle. At this point, you're sitting around, and it's starting to get later. It's starting to bring on. It's night's falling. What are you going to do? Are you going to rest in the middle of the village?
Yeah, I think so. We'll just set up some tents here instead of like paying for the inn, unless someone like really bothers us over it. If they want us like move a little further, like across the river towards like the tree line, that's fine too, I guess. I don't know what their what what's the word for like what their loitering laws are
The
like here.
loitering laws are.
It's,
Uh,
maybe they just don't care as long as we're not bothering anyone.
yeah, and you're not in a field. You're not in, as long as you're not in someone's farm. You can. There's enough little kind of forest around this village that you can pull up your put out your beds, and even if you have a tent, you can set that up and sleep as well.
Okay. I
Elka
don't
would
think I
prefer
have a
to
tent.
sleep outside. I think probably preferably by the forest.
Uh, we'll probably go buy food for the day somewhere.
Okay, yeah, there's enough farmers around. You can go and buy food from a stall or whatever you wish to do.
Yeah, like pop
Yeah,
a
there's
trade
there's
like
certainly enough
that.
people that you can buy. It's a common enough. It's a variety of vegetables, maybe some fresh bread. Orbital, you're out there. You're waiting on this road, and Eric has not returned. What are you going to do?
I just make camp. Like, basically, I have no idea what's going on, and I'm not gonna stick my neck out for people who are fools.
Okay. So you're camping outside the village. So you guys, you all set up rest. Eric, you have a Constitution check to make. So it's a D20, and you're going to see if you can roll under your Constitution. If this succeeds, so if you roll under your Constitution, then you are able to continue your run for another day. Otherwise, you're going to have to pull back and slow yourself down.
I gotta pull back and slow down.
All right. So,
Wasted 20.
so with a con check, you're trying to roll under your Constitution. And so a natural 20 is the opposite of a fumble. And so in this case, when you're trying to roll, like when you're trying to roll low, a 20 is a fumble. And so a natural 20 indicates that as you're running, you're keeping in sight of the wagon, and it's starting to slow down. You see maybe they're even pulling aside to start a camp, and you feel a cramp happening in your right quad, and suddenly you can't run anymore. It feels like you might have pulled something.
Ah, I scream to the heaven. Ah,
All right. Can I have you roll a 1d4 exclamation P?
had to run out at some point, right?
All right. You've been running for a while, and so you would think that in order to recoup from this kind of injury, maybe you've had it before, think it'd take about 2 days of complete rest. You could still push on. You could still walk, but every day that you push yourself and keep walking on it, it'll take another 2 days of full rest to recover.
Okay. Um, from what I can see, have they stopped? Is it nighttime?
It does look like they've stopped ahead.
Okay. Um, maybe I'll walk another hour and then I'll stop.
Okay. You're gonna push yourself on and stop and
Another
rest.
hour, yeah, and then rest. And
Okay.
just keep them in sight. Don't start a fire.
All right. So all four of you managed to rest uninterrupted uh, throughout the rest of the night. The villagers don't bother you as you've tucked away into the woods. Orbital, you have more than enough time to set yourself up with a really nice little setup. You're a ranger, you're a survivalist. Uh, you probably have the whole works going on right now. So
Yeah.
everyone gets a day of healing, and each one of you wakes up uh, wakes up to see the next morning. Uh, Eric, what is Eric thinking right now? Like he's chasing after his brother. He just injured himself. He's all alone. What's going on?
Pissed. He's angry. He should have went. He's thinking he should have went with him the night before, and that it's his fault that this happened, and you're just being stupid and young, and yeah, nothing tastes good. He's just thinking about getting to that wagon.
All right, so you start hearing commotion off by the from their camp, and you stand up and you feel that pain in your leg again as you see them start to pick up their camp and ride off.
Okay.
What are you
In the
going to
middle of the
do?
night. In the middle of the night.
But this would be the morning. This is the
In
morning.
the morning. Okay.
Yeah, in the morning.
And I don't get a night of a day of healing, correct?
Yeah, you do not.
Right. Okay. Well, then I pick up my stuff and start walking.
All right. So you start walking. Orbital.
Hmm.
What your plan is to stay out into the woods until they can contact you, right?
Well, I am going to observe the village as best I can to see if anything changes, anybody unusual on the edges of the village.
Okay. You're keeping an eye out and, trying to help them however you can.
Hmm.
Hoxic and Elka, you're mainly keeping watch over the castle. Is that is that your goal? Is there anything you'd
Yep.
like to do in town? All right. Are you trying to be hidden in the way you observe the castle? Like, are you trying to do it from a hiding spot, or are you out on the streets watching?
I could definitely do it from a hiding spot because I'm reasonably sneaky. So I might just like go around to like some of these trees or like this hill over here,
Uh,
overlook it. But during the rest of the day, I may actually be going around town and just sort of striking up general conversation. Like, so what's been going on? How did they catch this guy? What all happened? And just kind of get the idea of like what actually went down from everyone else's perspective.
All right. So give me a glean information check.
It's my best skill. Glean at 4.
Ooh, it's average.
Yeah.
You're asking around about the event that happened.
Yeah.
So most of the folks are like, are you asking about the event that happened that morning, as in the what Eric got into, or are you talking about the event that happened the night before?
The night before, what happened with this with that weird guy they were carting away? What's that
Well,
story?
I heard it from one of my friends up at the castle that the witch hunters they managed to sniff out a cleric in our very own town. Ah, can't believe it. I it must have been over at the inn, and well, they managed to corner him good. And so I heard they took him to the castle where everything went dark. That's not the part that makes sense to me, though. How could it go dark? It's already night. But that's what they said, and they got him. They managed to lure him to a trap. Oh, that Lord Rythok, he's just such a charming, smart one. They managed to easily overpower him, and uh, I heard they burned him there. They chopped him up and used all those axes that they have up there at the keep, took him to pieces. And those witch hunters, they take him to a spot where when they burn, the gods won't find him. So I've heard. They burn
Ah,
all the clerics there.
You people don't mess around. Very nice.
No,
Hmm. What
But-
about
that witch deserved it.
these witch hunters? Were those the people I saw like going into the castle, working with them?
Oh, no, the witch hunters have they all left with that cleric, the dead one.
Then who was it that I saw over there? There's some other new people in town too.
Oh, I didn't hear of anyone else new at the castle.
Hmm. Well, that's kind of weird.
No,
Eh.
at the castle, nothing's coming to me.
Hmm. And Toxic will kind of shrug. Maybe
But
I just saw things.
I could maybe I'll ask around with my friend up there.
Sure, that'd be great. I'll come back tomorrow then. I'll keep buying your food too.
Oh, thank you. Have
And
a good day, dwarf.
I'll give him another trade coin for this day too.
Okay.
There we go.
So
And
you're watching the castle. You're keeping an eye out, and that next day, there's nothing unusual. You see what looks like the normal guards going in and out. The next day, you're meeting with uh you're meeting with the that same lady you spoke with before, and she leans in and she gives you another loaf of bread. My my friend at the chambermaid at the castle, uh, th- she said there has been a new visitor uh, up there.
really? Oh, who is it?
Yes, for the last day, the Lord Advisor has had one of his. She said warriors, a compatriot of some kind. It was an associate of the advisor.
An associate, huh?
Yes,
Oh, that's
he
kind of vague.
he brings them in all the time. They're mercenaries and sell swords and some quite dashing.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, I'm a bit of a mercenary myself. Mm, Yeah. mm, Yeah, see, big strong dwarf. They aren't looking for any
Some
more
of them are
people, are they?
dashing.
Yeah, they aren't. They don't wouldn't happen to be looking for another person to hire on, would they?
Uh, I I don't know. I'm certain you could ask. I, I really don't do any of that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Well. Uh, I guess if they ever leave the castle, like you get a chance to talk to them. But if they don't, well, I guess I'm just figuring out my own next move.
Yeah. Well, I wish you luck at that. Let me know if you get a job at the castle.
Oh, thank you. You're such a sweetheart. And I'll go ahead and I'll just sit with Elka for a while and consider.
Right.
So actually, Orville, you're with us now too, aren't you?
Well, I'm still outside. You haven't picked me up.
Okay, so you're still outside the town. I'll actually go outside of town and walk a little bit because you said you encamped outside of town, so probably not too far.
He said he was observing the town and watching. So you're watching as you see Hawksick start going towards the edge of town, and you can probably maneuver there to meet up with him.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I can confirm your guy is definitely in the castle and he ain't leaving. Apparently, he's got some in with some advisor type person or something. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, probably the same person that Eric threatened.
Saying that they basically are showing themselves off as mercenaries and sell swords, which, makes sense, I guess. What's the difference between a bandit and a sell sword except who you're attacking? Uh, Either way, they're there. They're not going anywhere. Uh, that's the
So you,
best I got for you.
so you heard what happened to the masked man?
Yeah, apparently they chopped him up and they're gonna burn him too.
They don't fuck
Already
around.
dead.
Oh, he's already dead.
Well, I mean, that's the way they put it. I don't know if that's exaggeration or not. I saw something, and I just had no idea what it was.
Oh, that fool of his brother started running after him. Hasn't come back.
Hmm.
If they didn't turn around and ambush him, he's somewhere to the east.
Kind of weird, though.
What?
So there's those witch hunters, and they apparently knew, or at least thought they knew something about Karamikos immediately on the spot. There's this weird guy on the way into town. Did you see him? I ran past him a little bit. He's wearing the
Uh,
same thing as Karamikos was. You think
hmm.
they knew each other? I mean, I
Or
guess
maybe he
plenty of
just,
people could just be wearing black. That's a good color.
or they just, he probably was the grave digger and took the cloak because, yeah, that's how it works.
Uh, I think he implied it was his own. He didn't take it from him.
Well, he might know more about what's going on.
Well, if you care about this Karamikos guy, he'd be the person to talk to, I think.
Well, I don't, but you know, I don't
Well,
like to
maybe
like.
for Eric's sake.
Well, if he's not dead,
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Maybe both of them are dead now. Either
I,
way, at least I got a tent. What? No, I don't. I got leaves. I gotta get a tent.
I'll
You got
go
I-
money for a tent?
I'll
Can I
go
bum you for a couple gold?
gold. Gold.
Hey, I set my ambitions high. So you got
Yeah.
any?
No,
Ah, you stingy bastard. Well,
I can't
we're
give you what I don't have. You daft dwarf.
we're still set it up in town. I'm keeping an eye on the castle. If you need me to do anything, I'm around.
Point me to the direction of the strange guy with the cloak. See what
Yeah,
his.
yeah, he was over on this side of town. I bet he probably hasn't moved.
I'll go around outside the town and see if I can see somebody that fits as a description of long cloak, what have you.
Probably disappointed didn't get a body.
What are you doing, Theta?
I mean, it takes a long time to dig a hole,
Just
right?
like you said, just like you said, NPCs can't move. So sure enough, you come around and you see a figure looking similar to Karamikos. Once again, you have the exact same cutscene as he finishes burying a body.
That's why you don't hit escape on a cutscene you don't finish. You have to go
Mm.
through it again.
So, Gravedigger,
Yes.
uh, buried anyone with a long cloak of late?
Yes. This poor sod here.
Know his story?
I entered town attempting to get it. It's what I said before is when I overheard everything going on. And then I came back out here to accomplish the task.
Hmm. So he's dead. Hmm. Well,
Yes, I don't bury the living.
guess I'll be bad for business if they come up again. Um,
You
well,
would be surprised.
probably not. Fought my share of skeletons in my day. Um, besides the cloak, you have anything else of his that survived? I had to give it to his brother to prove that he's, well, not among the living.
I think you are misunderstanding the situation.
Okay.
Whatever it was that you were getting up to over there, points long bony finger. This is not that.
Oh, so what is this then? If it's not that, then what is this?
This is just some poor soul I found dead.
Do you know what killed them?
No, there was no distinguishing marks upon their body. It could
Just
be anything: dehydration, starvation, poison, insect bite, animal bane, a curse, really anything.
that's a lot.
Not
Well then,
everything that's fatal leaves a mark.
leaves a body. But I get what you're trying to say. Yes. So you're just a traveler, like me,
Yes,
passing through.
I have been on the road and the seas for the last 70 years.
Oh, you're made of sterner stuff than I thought.
I have been on a journey, looking to spread the word in a realm ill-equipped to hear it.
Well, uh, hmm, I would advise not to try to spread the word here because they have witch hunters.
No,
Apparently.
it's as I said before, I already know this, which is
Ah,
why I am out here and not in there.
well, out of curiosity, because I don't believe in superstitions per se, what is this word that you're talking about?
I wish to inform those not in the know of the congregation, so that they might foresee themselves in a better place upon their passing, instead of in the ground.
Hmm.
You see, when it comes time for you to be as he, points again down to the dead body in the ground, or at least I guess it's been a day and a half now. I've buried this fool.
He's
Huh?
really deep.
That you may not find yourself as he, as a nameless under the dirt, but instead one of the favored of the king beyond.
King Beyond. That explains why people don't like priests around here, on account that the locals like to keep their own kings closer.
I think you'd be quite surprised. On my journeys, I was on pilgrimage to many of the capital cities to the south of here, where our temples are quite vocal and
No.
seen in a pleasant light. You see, interring the dead is not something most enjoy to do, and in doing so, we prevent the situations you have described before, the skeletons, as you will.
Ah, yes. That's useful.
Most think so, yes.
So the only thing you do is bury people and spread the word.
I do a great many things. As I have said, I have been on a very long journey.
Oh,
I maintain goods. I cook. I sew. I heal. I do what is necessary to make do on the way, so that I am not a burden to others.
Mm. Oh, you heal. That that can be useful. Very useful.
The King
Mm.
Beyond lends me powers as I need, so long as I see fit to do his work in the mortal coil.
Interesting. Oh, I've done my best, and I touched my side where that one sword strike hit me. I was like, ugh. I done myself best to patch me up. Hmm.
I would ask, are you one of the faithful?
Well, I don't know much of your faith other than as a king that is beyond. So I be willing to listen. I've listened to many a sermon in my life. Being one with the travelers and all.
I see.
But you know,
Then
I
for,
try to avoid goblin deities. They tend to be pretty bloody and distasteful overall.
so I have heard.
Hmm.
Well, if you would be willing to give me a listen, then perhaps I could see to aiding you in your injury.
Well, it's, I think, the polite thing to do. Yes.
Very well. If you could lift your tunic for me for just 5 moments.
I roll up and it's like, this one was a sword strike, and this one was the head of butt of a spear. As I cataloging my bruises.
Right? I mean, whichever one looks the worst, I'll
Yeah.
reach into a knapsack because I don't carry a backpack. I carry a knapsack,
Yeah.
and I like bring out a little bit of ointment and reach forward and I'll start uttering some words of, "O King from beyond, please to be seeing that this one not yet enter your presence in such an unworthy state." As I cast the most unimpressive spell you will ever see. As I scroll down my list.
You're a negligible wound.
One hit point.
Oh, it's better than I had before.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, if you had a 29-day wound, that 29 days would be gone in an instant.
Yeah.
Down to 28 days.
And you can cast it multiple times, technically.
No, I am a cleric, so I get that one. And then you gotta wait till tomorrow.
Exactly, multiple times.
Unless he dies today.
Well, thank you. I feel slightly better than I felt before.
Literally, a thought
Oh,
I had, by the way, is that if
yeah.
your wound was like at 1 hit point, it might be obvious, but if you had like a 20-point wound, you might wonder if I did anything at all.
Yeah. Hence, I said slightly.
Yeah.
It's like
Negligible difference.
just.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need a moment, listens?
Yeah, just a moment.
Okay. Yep. So
By the way,
while he's
this is
taking
a football. We all realize that this is a football, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
it is. I see. Oh, heaven.
That's where I'm camping now. I'm in the football.
Unfortunately, that's where the Foffins High School team practices, so it's the only football they have.
Ooh, Alka wants
Oh,
boys.
So while they're having that discussion on the outside of town, Hawkshick, you're kind of walking back to take up your position. As you
yep.
do, you spot a group of three people dressed in the surcoats of the castle pass you by, and you have to do a double take. One of them looks exactly like the bandit leader.
I see. He's on patrols now.
And you would know him by the name of Soren. That's what they referred to him as
Hmm.
in the bandit
Right.
fort.
So we got Soren and his companion Roxas. Got it. Okay. So so Soren just sort of on patrol. Is he like actually trying to like wander around me and like check me out, or what's going on?
It looks like he didn't even notice you as he's going by. It looks like from the way they're dressed and their uniforms are just a little bit untidy. They look like, and you've seen it several times, but guards on their way to the inn.
Okay. I think I'll kind of watch them. I got a pretty good view, and if I need to, I could probably just like stay like several hundred yards back and just kind of watch where they're going.
Yeah. Give me a listening check as they walk by to see if you can overhear their conversation. You aren't able to like make that distinction. Like you aren't able to recognize him quick enough, and
Hmm.
you ignored most of what he said, what they were saying as they walked by. But you can still like you recognize his voice from hearing it when he does say something to his friend.
Okay. So it is definitely him.
Yes.
And I guess, like you said, he's just heading towards the inn if I follow him for a while.
Yes. Yeah. You follow him just to this corner or even over here, and you see he goes into the inn.
Okay. What are the odds he'd recognize me if I just went in and just kind of chilled out? Alternatively, I could start bringing everyone in here for a hit.
You don't happen to have forgettable face, do you?
No.
Ah.
I'm sure they
So yeah,
might
then there's
remember the one dwarf they've ever seen in their lives.
that is true.
We're not too common around here, it seems.
Unforgettable.
So
All
I
right. So
think,
you're. Yep.
yeah.
Sorry.
Um, the best thing I'm gonna do is maybe try to see if Orbel's around. I told him where the other guy was, so I might just like wander in that direction and like wave over Elka too when I see her as well. It's like I saw
Okay.
him going to the inn. I don't know if you guys want to do anything. They probably would recognize me.
Yeah. So Elka, would you like to? You see, you're watching these football players take part in their practice. But you also see Hawk stick to the side following several people, and then you see him give you a wave over.
Elka walks over a bit inconspicuously.
All right. So you guys are all walking back towards where Theta and Orbal are. But since Theta's gone, we're gonna flash over to Eric.
Yeah.
Eric, it's early in the morning that you encounter the town where you guys have resided in for a while, the town of Terran. So I'll flash over to this map that you're um, that we have here. I can redirect the stream there with a shift click. And Eric, you are you're in Terran.
Okay.
I shrunk your little fella, but you are in the town of Terran.
Do we
Yep,
still
that
have
came out
that?
kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Do we? Can I want to go over to our place. Don't we have?
That
Do
is
we still
correct.
have that little?
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys have a house to yourselves.
Um. Okay. Can I see anything from, or before I do that? Um. Can I see where um the wagon went?
So this is still early in the morning that you arrive in Terran, and it's early enough that you see one of your friends by the name of Ezekiel. Ezekiel, one of the farmers who tends to the he's got a nice wheat field out of town. Sees you and calls you out. Eric, hell,
Oh,
you
there.
don't look so good. Hobbling around.
Yeah. I pulled muscle in my leg. So I'm just looking for
Well,
a
you know
place
the
to
age-old
rest.
cure, huh?
What's that?
Well, some of my wheat is said to be able to cure even the greatest wounds, especially the strains and pulls. Yeah, come by my place later. Buy a bushel. You just sleep on it, rub it on your wound every day. Swear. Look at me, healthy as a fiddle.
All right, I'll do that. Did you see a wagon come by here
Yeah,
this morning?
yeah. Those wet wagon and all those hoity-toity. They had that the symbol on their chest, the burning brand through a crown.
Burning brand through.
What did he call it? Down the road, they think they was witch hunters.
Where'd they go?
Well, they didn't stay in town. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here out tending my farm. I'd be gawking.
Did the wagon have anybody in it?
It had to be someone pulling it, or guiding the reins.
Couldn't see
Maybe there was
inside
two
or
of them, but no, I didn't see what was back in the wagon. Think it was some cleric
oh,
or
okay.
a monster of some kind.
Where were they going? Did you see where they went?
Well, they didn't stop here in Terran. They must have kept going.
Is there only one road out of Terran?
Well, one road, if you're leaving in that direction, that's to bash on.
Okay. How about some of that wheat right now? It's
Ah,
early. I'm hungry.
you'll
I'm
cut a
tired.
sheath of it. For you right now, that'll be a trade coin. So you buy some wheat, and what are you going to do?
I'm gonna rub it on my leg.
Are
I give him
are
a
you
cup.
going to
I give him
are
a
you going to
copper.
go to your house, or you're going to push on?
I'm gonna push on. Uh, I'm gonna stick some in my mouth and chew on it, and uh, then spit it in my hand and rub it on my leg, and then
It
just keep going.
Yeah. So you rub some wheat on your leg, and you keep on running. So you're continuing on this chase. So Theta, and since we haven't learned your character's name, Theta and Orbital are gathered on the outskirts of town, and Hawksick, you and Elka are making your way down to the two of them, where the two of them are talking.
Mhm. Oh, there they come. Finally. Elka, Orc, Hulk, the dwarf.
Close enough.
Yeah. I'll learn your name eventually, maybe. This here fellow, he's pretty useful.
I like useful.
Yeah.
Useful how?
Uh, he knows how to heal, and that's some pretty calming words. Oh,
He's not very cute.
well, he's an old man, so it's cute doesn't last too long.
I know. It's hard to find people cuter and more handsome than I am, Elka. I know. But you just got to deal with it. The world just seems so dark and dreary after you've seen me.
I could just kind of nod, look at him, like slight vomit.
Orbo just shrugs, like, whatever self delusions keep you going through life, dwarf. That's your problem. That's anyway. Eric hasn't come back. You two find out something? Anything?
Well, they're not hanging out in the castle all day anymore. In fact, I saw Soren and two of his buddies actually go over to the inn. I don't know what they're up to. Probably a drink, but I
Mm.
figured they'd recognize old me eventually if I stuck around them too long. So I didn't try to go in.
Well, we could probably ambush them at night if they're drinking at the inn. They come out, we kidnap them.
If you think they're going to drink all day, that's a fine plan.
What else are they gonna do at the inn?
Harass people, feel big and strong.
Elka could also try to convince people to go with her.
You think you could just wander in and no one will know?
I'm just a seductive woman.
Did they ever get a good look at you? I know I spent a good bit of time being kicked in the face by them, so I'm sure their boot would remember me. So, what about you?
Hmm.
I don't remember if Elka saw the bandit. I think Elka. No, it was Elka and Eric that stormed the cellars. So, it was in the heat of the moment, but Elka, Orbital, and Eric were the three that were down there.
So I
So
think.
there's a chance, right?
Hmm.
But of the four of you, definitely Hawksick has been seen the most, and then the three of you have all been spotted just at one time.
Okay.
Well, I attract attention on account of, well,
Same.
you're a
If only
human.
there was someone we knew who wouldn't attract a lot of attention and isn't already known by these bandits and can actually hold a human conversation with another person without attracting stares and indignance. You two know anyone like that around here?
Well, I turn to the old man and go like, listen, this bears some explanation if you have the time.
Always.
Well, we
Not
were
too much,
traveling.
he might keel over.
Shut up, dwarf. Long story short, we went down to a town. We discovered that they were taken over by bandits. We tried to liberate the town, but failed. Killed some of the bandits. The other ones ran away, but not before they murdered the entire children that had captives that were using to control the town. If that makes sense. So we're hunting them down to make sure this is brought to them. Sword, but they ran to here, and apparently they're friends with the local lord's second in command or something. So yeah, what the dwarf is saying is somebody they don't know can go into the inn and verify that this Sorkin, that's his name, right? Sorkin, is there, and keep an eye on them so that when they come out, we can bring justice unto them most verily, etc., etc., etc. And I ran out of words.
I recall hearing this name in my brief time in town.
Yes, well, he's a mass murderer of children, no less.
I see. I did not get much information about him before I was forced to leave myself.
Hmm.
What is it that you would like to know or have me do about this?
Go have a drink and peeking on the conversation.
Are they even still here.
Yeah, I saw them go into the inn not too long ago. They're even wearing uniforms, so they got a job now.
I see. And you would like me to go... Okay. Sorry,
I mean,
a brief moment of resignation came over me.
we don't want you to do anything foolish. If you think you're in danger, that's fine. You don't have to. We
No,
already
I
we
could...
already lost someone.
I could make a brief 20-minute run of it, I suppose.
Fine by me.
Sorry, now I got the time warp stuck in my head.
All right. So what is your plan then? What are you guys going to do?
I think we're gonna like chill around a little bit. Or at least Hoxic is gonna like chill around the inn and just kind of sit on the grass, do nothing, and wait and see what happens with our new friend going into the inn.
Yeah, because I get
All
as
right.
close as I can and then I cast Innoxiousness on myself.
And that's inside the you're getting as close as you can to the bar or the inn, and then you're gonna go inside.
Right. Basically, as I did before.
Okay. So
Very
you slip
nice.
on in, and you see there's just the three of them. There's one or two other folks that are kind of taking their breaks at about this time from working the fields, and you see the three of them, the three soldiers. One of them, which you recognize, is Soren, sitting in the corner, just chit chatting to each other, drinking an ale or two.
Right. Yeah, I'll go take a seat somewhere nearby. Actually, no, I'll mill about somewhere nearby, near enough to be able to hear anything that's said for, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes. Give myself
All
time
right,
to leave unnoticed.
give me a listening check. This since you have this
Obnoxiousness.
innocuousness. Uh, I'll say that it makes it an easy listening check because you can get closer than you might otherwise normally be able to, and you make it difficult. So you easily are able to overhear their conversation, and you pick it up. It seems to be they're talking about that series of events that happened a few days ago. One of them goes, still can't stand those witch hunters, all hoity-toity. Yeah, yeah. Well, at least you didn't have to hang out with Schmock. That one's the worst. Well, luckily we don't have to hang out with him. You're the one that's sitting at the Lord's table, Soren. Is their ale any better up there? They he laughs. No, no, it's just you can't drink quite as much if they're not drinking as much. He drinks, and uh, that seems to be the most important thing they chat about. But other than that, they kind of just they talk back and forth about what they're planning to do next. And Soren Soren shrugs at one point and goes, "I think I'm being sent out. Me and a few of the boys we're going on patrol into the north. So this might be the last one of these we've got going on." He claps one of the compatriots on the back, and about after about then, your innocuousness begins to start to run out.
Right, like I said, left myself like 5 minutes to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
So
just
you
go back to the
you slip
campsite.
on out. Yeah, and Hawksick, you're standing out there. You see him go in. You see him leave. And are you going to go join him, or are you going to still stake it out?
I'm still just staking it out. I'm just basically
Okay.
laying in the grass, so I'm not going anywhere.
Same for Elka.
So the two of you are are sitting near the you're across the street or nearby, kind of enjoying and watching the view. And as it starts getting later, maybe right before dinner or supper, the door opens and you see the three of them making their way out of the inn. What do the two of you do?
What time did you say this was?
It's just it's just before dinner, so you're starting to hear people. You can smell food starting to be cooked, and maybe you're starting to just get a little bit hungry.
Okay, so they're basically leaving the inn for dinner to go back to the castle. Interesting. And I don't suppose they look completely sloshed or anything.
One of them is, but the other two certainly aren't.
Right. Nah, not quite the time to do anything.
Yeah.
I guess I'll keep like a far distance and I'm gonna follow them and just see them go back to the castle just to confirm, which they probably will.
And you are confirmed in your suspicions. They seem to all mosey back up to the castle.
hmm and of course, I'll return to Elka and Orbital and go, well, they're back home for the day. So we got at least a decent idea of maybe what they're up to. What do you guys think? I think at this point, attacking town guards will probably get us on everyone's bad side.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't.
Want to do that.
Not that I care about being on anyone's bad side, but it also means that there's going to be a lot of them trying to kill us. And then suddenly we're the bad guys.
Well, I'm not a child murderer, so I guess I'll never be a bad guy like that.
Yeah, we'll just be regular murderers. Much better. But
There's certain lines I don't cross.
well, here's my perspective on it. Now, usually when you want to murder someone really bad, you end up having to be really, really patient to wait to get the right opportunity. How patient are you, Orbital?
I can wait. I stalk game for a living.
Fair enough.
I'm patient.
It's not like we have anything better to do.
Well, I mean, we got this map, but I mean, like we talked about, I have no idea where the hell this mountain is.
Wait,
Well, the old man has been around for a while. You might give it to him.
what is it that you said you did for a living?
What,
Me?
me?
No, only one of you just said you did something for a
All of them
living.
pointed themselves. Me?
Oh, I hunt. I'm a ranger.
That is very convenient. I wonder if I might be able to propose a deal between you and I.
You're speaking. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I could use a source of leather and meat. If you were to go hunt and bring back a kill, I would be willing to pay you a trade coin per pound of flesh you would return to me.
Well, I know how to hunt and I know how to butcher, so that will work.
I can do the butchering myself. I just need the animal for parts.
Very well. I can do that.
Very well. What is your custom? Shake, spit on the ground, prick blood.
Just you give me your word. That's fine.
Very well.
I wasn't raised by goblins, in spite of my appearance.
My apologies. I was not casting aspersions on your race. I merely meant what your local custom was.
Well, it's fine. I come from a family of traders, and we take our words very seriously.
Very
yes.
well. An accord has been met.
Well, I guess I could do that tomorrow, on account that it's going dark.
Why does it sound so ominous?
A deep and loving voice.
I guess so. Maybe there's some work I can do. I don't
Well,
want to do basic work. It's tough.
I suppose the speaker here wants to burn the offerings or something, so I guess that is ominous.
so the four of you have gathered together and are discussing things as the day dies down. Meanwhile, on the other side of Shinabeth, on the other side of Terran, Eric, you are still following this wagon. You're starting to get into some mountainous terrain, and you're still moving up this river, there is that valley there, so you're not gaining too much elevation, but it is still a slow climb up. It's starting to get dark once again, and you haven't had a sight of the wagon for a while. Can I have you roll a listening check? So you're making your way up this river valley, and you're accustomed to being in this area. You're a bar. No, are you? I can never remember if you're a barbarian.
I am.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For some reason I keep thinking you're a fighter, but you are a barbarian, so you're used to survival in this sort of terrain. This is similar to the area that you've uh, been around before. It's your natural habit, your natural area, and so you get a bonus of survival. So you know how to get along here, and you're listening for those sounds of the sounds or sights of a camp that might be hidden. Maybe this wagon is they're just trying to hide where they're camping, and you can distinctly make out the sound of wolves nearby.